Welcome your host, Maddie Two Shoes.
Wayo! Welcome to my channel. I was expecting the music to be more impactful, but it wasn't. And welcome to everybody who is watching, most notably probably Toefrog and his viewers who are currently roasting my stream. So yes, this is going to be very interesting. Thank you, Ian, for tooting. I hope all of the viewers enjoyed the tooting. Someone is happy they're not coding on stream. Not me. I don't know who you're talking about. What are you talking about? No. Let's be clear, Joost. I did plenty of coding. Like, when you code a lot, then you accumulate code time that you can then use in exchange for your free time. And so I have accumulated some of my free time in coding this week, and therefore I'm now using that free time to to run through different things. No, actually, first of all, I trust that everyone here knows who I am, because there's not a lot of people who follow me and get those notifications. But it still makes sense to say very quickly, especially as I'm being watched right now live. My name is Maddie, or Maddie Two Shoes. I am a self-proclaimed full stack analyst, which basically just means that I work across the entire data stack. I'm a founder of my own startup, and I like to stream on Twitch twice a week and do all kinds of things related to data. And today, full stack. Congratulations, Steffi, by the way, on being first today. Did someone already claim not first? Because I don't think someone has claimed that. Welcome in, Joost, as well. Today I'm testing out a different format. It is the first time that I took a day off since we started full-time in January. And therefore, we have allowed ourselves after a somewhat momentous and very, very tumultuous week, accumulating in the a very important meeting, very important meeting yesterday with all of our investors. Yeah, we allowed ourselves a 1 day off for almost 4 months. So I think that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. And I'm using that day off now to take it easy and decompress a little bit. And I thought, what better way to decompress than to hop on stream and chill with all of you, and of course, run through a new type of format. Thank you very much, Splashly.
We'll do it live.
Yes, we're doing everything live. Twitch is live. There's none of it is planned.
Do it live.
All I did,
and we'll do it live.
All I did was come up with 3-4 topics that I wanted to talk about, but it's very freeform. I can't believe, Dino, I can't believe it hadn't been claimed yet. It's actually quite incredible, actually. Splashy, those 100 bits, thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. The support is incredible from this community. We saw it earlier with Fi Night. We've seen it in your stream earlier as well, Splashly. Like, the tech community here on Twitch is very, very cool. And therefore, today we shall be covering news from the data analytics world. Steffi says there cannot be enough coding time, though. That's true. But here's the thing, Steffi. If you know that you're not going to be efficient at coding, which today I am 150,000% sure that I would not be good at coding today for various reasons, then it's not worth firing up VS Code and DataGrip and all those other cool tools that I use, because in that 4-hour block where I would be coding, I would have an efficiency of, let's say, 20%. Whereas I could go off tomorrow or Sunday or even Monday on my next stream and spend 4 hours coding, and I might have an efficiency of like 30 or 40%, which makes that worth double to me. So today, for me, it's worth just, you know, chilling a little bit more, enjoying my day off, as you will, and talking to all of you about a few topics that have come up recently in the news, things that are revolving around data analytics world. Oh, I see. So it's not enough to talk about news. We also have to make the stream entertaining. Very well, Toefrog, I understand. I know that you want to showcase things for your viewers, therefore, let's do that. Do you have a particular direction that you wish the time warp scan to be? It can be from top to bottom, bottom to top, top left to bottom right, or top right to bottom left. Those are all of the options that you have available. I will give you 20 seconds to answer. If you do not answer, I'm accounting for lag here. So if you do not answer, then, there we go. Top right to bottom left. So if that's the right one, it would be this one. Yes. Okay. So do you have a request for a pose or a particular action that I should be doing during the time warp scan? So for those of you that may not know, the time warp scan freezes me, but it does it in such a way that I should surprise you. Okay, I feel like I'm being watched. So I think we're gonna do something around being watched. And I hope that was sufficient for you. And because I have your stream open on my iPad, I want to see your live reaction, because it should be quite entertaining to see your live reaction to to me. Of course, there's a significant delay between, you know, me doing it and then watching you react to it, and then you now hearing me react on it. So I don't know if this was sufficient for you. We can always have a second go if that wasn't sufficient for you. But yeah, that is the time warp scan. The time warp scan freezes me in certain positions. So, you know, if I salute, then I can salute to the right, and it just, you know, it just stretches everything out. So that's the time warp scan. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for redeeming that. So I hope it was a surprise, let's put it that way. And Ian, thank you for welcoming in yourself. That's also very interesting. Of course, you're all welcome to throw as many paper balls as you want. I'm certainly not going to say no to that. So what is today's format? What is the Data Cafe? The Data Cafe is a new format. We haven't done that before. Also, I think, is the music quiet? A little bit quiet for you? Because we can definitely boost that a little bit. Seems like it might be a bit quiet. Maybe. It's also a very chill station. Do we want something a bit more amped? Because we could get something a bit more hype as well. Totally up to all of you. I'm fine with whatever, because I'm mostly just, you know, doing the stream and not really listening to the music, especially if I'm coding, which I'm not doing today, exceptionally. However, so what is the Data Cafe? Metal? I don't think, is there a metal? I don't think there's a metal one, Ian, in the gallery of possibilities, unfortunately. I think we should take something with a bit more oomph. Do we have hardstyle? I don't think we have hardstyle either. So the last time I did the hardstyle thing, there was a lot of vocal, like a lot of lyrics in it, and for today that would be very bad because I'm going to be talking a lot as opposed to normal when I also talk a lot, actually. But yeah, that when there's lyrics, it's really difficult for me to talk over them, kind of. I get very distracted. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just switch to the trap bass station. Let's see if this is any better. That's not bad. I actually think that's not so bad. You're starting a Zach Bussy kind of format. Well, in a way, yes. So I mean, Zach is very successful with his format around streamer news, like around everything relevant for streamers. I'm certainly not gonna start encroaching into, you know, trying to look up all relevant news for streamers or something like that. That's Zach's territory, or a couple other people that do that, like Loco as well. I'm not interested in going into that at all. I'm more interested in sharing with all of you things that I see. Like, I read a lot of data analytics news during the week, and I'd like to share some of that with you, because a lot of what happens in the news, a lot of the things I read are quite important, or at least relevant for people in the tech community. We all are exposed to data products day in, day out. And so, yeah, I feel like it's appropriate, let's say, to have that kind of format. Use name. Oh, I'm not good with pronouncing this. Oh, Odan? Is it Irish? Help me. Please help me pronounce this. Welcome in. Hello, Mr. Two Shoes. I feel like we know each other. We must know each other from somewhere. Maybe from Finite Stream, possibly? My theme pool would be data analytics, not streamer news. Yeah, exactly. Sounds perfect for TikTok. Yeah, in theory. I'm not so interested in doing... I'm not really interested in doing short format, if that makes sense. Ah, Aiden, Gaelic. Ah, okay. Aiden, welcome in. Gaelic, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm not so interested in doing short form video, especially with a platform like TikTok. I can probably share that with you today, about my privacy concerns around TikTok. There's some pretty harrowing stuff about the app, actually. So yeah. Ah, Finite White Panther and Bald Bearded Builder. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely in the know. You're definitely in the know. So yeah, TikTok is just a Chinese Instagram. Steffi, that's a pretty decent summary of what it is. Exactly. And I have nothing against China. Like, I'm not like racist or something like that. It's just we have to see things for what they are. It is a data vacuum. It is meant to suck up as much data as possible at a very, very, very alarming rate. Very alarming. So yeah, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go through the topics that I've outlined for sure, but if other stuff comes out, then we can definitely, you know, we can definitely talk about it too. There's plenty of things to talk through. So yeah, if you have topics that you'd like to talk about, we can definitely take them into the plan for today. And of course, we may even play a game or two. Yeah, who knows? Everything is open. There's no, there's no rules for this format other than that there's no coding, let's say. Yeah, so I would say Yos, except they came first with the vertical video short format. Was it not, did Instagram not have a vertical video format prior to TikTok already? And yes, just like Facebook does on the other side of the pond as well. Exactly. Instagram is known for just copying others. Remember Snapchat? Instagram stories are precisely that. That's correct, Steffi. That's right. They basically all copy each other. TikTok launched in 2016. Interesting. Okay, it's already that old. Fascinating. So I guess we can bring up the first thing. We can talk about TikTok first. That's no problem. Let's flip over and have a chat about TikTok. TikTok, Douyin, yeah, the Chinese name. Instagram Reels are now what TikTok as a platform. Instagram, yes, exactly. So this was from February, actually. This was an article from CNBC about how TikTok shares your data, okay? So as a user of the app, this is pretty shocking. Not only do they collect a lot of data on you, which most people are probably aware of, but holy smokes, do they really give a lot of this data out. So there was a study, there was a study done on what data is being shared out. So YouTube and TikTok are the two apps that were found in this study to count how many different domains track your activity. And they had basically, and the average in the study was something like 6 network contacts per app. YouTube and TikTok had 14, which means that essentially 14 other sites are being informed about your activity within the app. Okay, so in YouTube's case, 10 of the trackers are first party, which means that it's using it for their own purposes. Like Google's trackers are essentially collecting data for itself. There's a couple other cases for third parties. Like 4 of these contacts were from third party domains, which is a relatively small amount. I only remember them sending Rocked a cease and desist for naming TikTok in his project. Yes, if you use a company name within your company name or product name, you will, you're quite likely to get a cease and desist. Yes. Okay, so for YouTube, to summarize, 10 of the trackers that they found were first party. So you know that for YouTube, it's a product from Google. Your data is being collected by Google. Okay. For TikTok, 13 of these 14 network contacts are third party. So this is the most shocking thing about that. Fine, it's third party, so you don't know where it's going, first of all. This is the problem. Third party tracking still happened even when users didn't opt into allowing tracking in each app's settings. So this means that they are actually not, they are in violation of multiple best practices. They're in violation of certainly GDPR because you require consent. Now, of course, TikTok disputed this, right? TikTok disputed it, said they did the same test. All that came back was that there was only 4 third-party domains, which is part of the function of the app and not about, not about like, how do you say? Not about just collecting data about people. So those third-party domains, they said, were Google, Apple, and Snap, and as well as AppsFlyer, which is an advertising analytics company. So, fine. Basically, there's a dispute around whether that's true or not. Yo says, I know this kind of data sharing really annoys a lot of people, but I do not care at all. I don't think this kind of stuff has any impact on my life. And look, ultimately, it is a very personal decision, Yost, right? It's a personal decision about whether you are okay with this or not. However, the law in multiple cases now dictates that you need to be given this choice first. It's called obtaining consent. And for a lot of apps and a lot of companies, they still don't understand that they need to obtain consent first prior to actually engaging in the data collection activity. There are some use cases that do not require consent, but we're not going to talk about that today. It's very detailed. Now, what's crazy about this whole thing is TikTok's ability, due to the nature of what they watch, due to the nature of how you use the app, TikTok, along with many other companies, they can use what's called inference. So they can, based on some people they have demographic data for and some people they don't have demographic data for, they can compare the usage of these accounts and then come to the conclusion saying, well, this pool of people are ages 18 to 24 and they watch stuff like this, and these pool of people watch stuff 18 to 20, watch this kind of stuff, but we don't know their age, and so we infer that they are between the ages of 18 and 24. That's called inferred demographics. And there's nothing today in, let's say, the regulatory phase that stops this inference from happening, right? Because they're basically just guessing. They're just guessing with data, right? But yes, so basically, TikTok's privacy policy, if you want to really look through it, it is very, very harrowing to read, the amount of information that they collect and the fact that they are allowed to share the data with the Chinese parent company. And everybody knows by now that China does have a very, very harsh view on data collection and a sort of a surveillance state approach to how they, to how they run their country. So yeah, that's really for you to decide, and this is ultimately what it comes down to. It's for you to decide as a user if you want to actually use an app like this. And I've taken the decision for myself that I do not. Doesn't mean that I don't enjoy watching short form content. I think a lot of it's great. I just, for me personally, do not want to use this kind of app. Very simple. Not saying it shouldn't bother people. I think their concerns are irrational, but I don't think there's any way to debate that with them. That's an interesting word. So Jos, you're saying the concern is irrational. What concern in particular would you think is irrational? So speaking to people who say that this bothers them, like I'm one of those people, for example, like using TikTok as an app would bother me, because I do not think that the way that their privacy policy is written, the way that the fact that they can do data sharing with China, or a company within China, which is of course subject to government oversight more than in other countries, those things for me make the app very, very unattractive as a user. Now, what's my concern there? My concern is that by using the app, my data is being used for profit, and I'm not seeing any of that profit. That's the ultimate concern, is that I am basically the product. Of course, the app is for free, so I know that I'm the product, but I do not think that using the app entitles me to be sold, like that my data specifically is sold. It's all aggregated data. It improves the quality of the content I see. If it would be aggregated, and if it would only be aggregated and analyzed in an aggregated manner, then this concern would be totally fine. But the problem is that they're not collecting or analyzing the data only on aggregated level. They're collecting and analyzing the data down to person level, to user level. And that's been evidenced and demonstrated multiple times. Sorry, there's something in my throat. An algorithm that someone uses in an app can use aggregated data to tailor personalization. It can put you into a bucket along with 1,500 or 15,000 other people, and you can see the same content because you get personalized that way. And you can even get personalized down to a bucket where there's only 5 people in it, without doing that with any personally identifiable information. And I know this because I helped design a system like that a few years ago. So yeah, so TikTok for me, that was a bit of an exodus, but short form content for me, not great. I don't think it's that cool. I like consuming it, but I couldn't see myself creating it. I don't see myself creating short form content. I do have a YouTube channel and I do plan on making more long form content. I'm a bit of a time crunch at the moment. So I do not see myself making like a video a week or something like that. So I'll continue streaming on Twitch twice a week, and then when I have the time, I'll shoot out a couple videos, but they're not going to be around data analytics specifically. At least initially, it's going to be a lot about streaming in the tech space, about streaming with a MacBook, specifically MacBook Pro, because it's quite challenging. So I'm going to be making a little bit more content around that. This is an interesting comment, Yost. It's the old point about whether your data is sold or the ability to target you based on your data is. I don't know 100% what TikTok does, but people love to talk about how social media sites sell your data all the time, or that apps are listening to you all the time, because they feel powerless in a world of big companies, and they end up believing the biggest conspiracy theories about what actually is happening with their data. You're not distracting the conversation, Yost, don't worry. I wouldn't get into it if I didn't think it was important. So nobody knows for certain what these companies are doing with the data, and that's kind of the problem, is that they need to be accountable because they're collecting that data from their user base, and so they need to be accountable for that. Most people agree that ethically and morally, and also now legally, that's where the direction is going. So it's no longer okay that an app just collects data blindly about every single person with personally identifiable information. You can imagine in a case like TikTok, it's maybe not such a big deal, but for an app, for example, like a dietary app, where you wanna make a meal plan, and so they ask you, do you have any diseases? And so you put in that you have multiple sclerosis, right? MS. And that means you have a specific diet. And then suddenly you start getting ads for MS, even though you haven't declared this anywhere else publicly, right? Those kinds of situations are definitely the situations that the law and overall what people are fighting against, right? And yes, Yost, as Snark Cheese mentions, Cambridge Analytica, that the whole story around that and how the manipulation of society can be done using data, and the data that's fed back through ads and things like that is a very interesting read or even watch. There's a documentary as well on Netflix about it. So actually, seeing as we're talking about Netflix, also hello Snark Cheese and welcome in. Very nice to see you again today. Speaking about Netflix, that's one of the news items of today is about Netflix. Netflix has lost 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter, which is actually crazy if you think about 200,000 people canceling their Netflix subscription. But that's only if you think of on their total user base. It's only if you don't know what their total user base is like. So 200,000 sounds like a lot, and yes, their share price went absolutely tumbling. And the reason I'm talking about this is because of what's called churn. but there was a total number in here. Where was it? Here we go. Netflix's total subscriber base is 221.64 million. Okay. Now the fact that their stock fell off, we're talking 200,000 over 221 million. Okay. This represents, in terms of data, okay, let's just play this out. They lost 200,000 subscribers in this 3-month period, in the first quarter, right? This represents 0.09% of their total subscriber base. Losing 0.09% of their subscriber base caused their stock to tumble by 35%. Now, I'm not a stock analyst. I'm not a financial analyst in any way, but for me, that seems absolutely absurd to have such an overreaction to such a low churn rate. We're talking churn rates for companies typically in the SaaS space, so subscriptions, right? Subscription churn tends to hover for most companies, depending on the industry, somewhere between 1 to 1.5% monthly. Okay, here we're talking about a fraction of this. It's a big company, sure, but for me, this is crazy to think that this would send the stock tumbling like that. Manipulation is different. I really don't care about any documentary. I'm 50 years old and have wasted decades of my life getting sidetracked by a myriad of things. I have a few good decades left. I can't get sucked into every controversy. Interesting. Okay. I think it was also a reaction to the discussion of new measures to tackle password sharing and also the projected loss of 2 to 3 million. Ah, yes. So that's the other thing. So they've said that they do have a problem with account sharing, which they estimated was something around 100 million accounts. I have to find this where it said this. Yeah. So Netflix is also trying to clamp down on password sharing among households, a worldwide phenomenon that the company believes accounts for 100 million unauthorized users. Now, this is a different story. If they have a subscriber base of 221 million, and they believe they have a problem that affects 100 million potential new customers, that's a third of growth, which is, it's kind of nuts. I mean, really, it's like really, really, really crazy amount. If it's truly that much, it's really like, it's just absolutely bonkers to think about if it's truly that much. Okay, if it's truly that much. Yoast, I'm sorry, Yoast. I need to delete this. You can't, I don't think you're even allowed to do your own data in chat like that. I don't want to risk any terms of service stuff, so I'm sorry, Yost, but I had to remove it. I appreciate that you're very open about your data and data sharing, and that's totally fine. I respect that attitude. I have no problem with that at all. But I don't want to cause any issues with Twitch, because their terms of service are a bit. So yeah, you're right about the reaction though. 100 million unauthorized users. Now, I'm not saying that all 100 million of those would pay for a Netflix subscription if forced to. It's quite unlikely that they would. That being said, though, 100 million, if even a 1% or 2% conversion rate on that, you've got 2 million more subscribers there, and they just lost 200,000 within 3 months. So if they would do something about this 100 million, and they would say, yeah, we estimate to get, I don't know, 3-4% of them, they've already covered their loss of the 200,000. And the other thing you mentioned, Yos, exactly with the 2 to 3 million, they do estimate that they're going to lose more. The company's forecast of a loss of 2 million for its second quarter indicates that the slowing growth is likely to continue for this foreseeable future. That's very true, but again, they're still sitting on a base of 220 million subscribers, so I don't really understand the panic here. The reason I'm covering it today, this is like, for me, this is really talking about data, you know? And this is really like, it's really interesting for me to talk about data.
Cofrog is raiding with a party of 6.
It's really interesting to talk about data in a news context, because we never really talk about these things. We've talked about like the data we collect from stream or from Twitch, or the you know, data that I've looked at in the past, which is my own. But now it's like it's a bit of a different context. So, Toefrog, welcome in. How was your also, Steffi, I might have to change that one, by the way. There's a part of the song that might be not so TOS friendly. Toefrog, thank you very much for the raid. I hope you had a good stream. If you don't know who Toefrog is, you should. Let's see what kind of clips you've got.
Why are you avoiding us? You love us. You hang out in our streams. You're a Twilio champion. What are you running from? Something to think about. Something to think about.
That sounded very accusatory. TD, only listening as I'm at the gym, but dedicated viewer. Oh, are you working out to me streaming? Am I your workout entertainment? Okay, so you need to 1 rep, 2 rep, 3 reps, 4 reps, pause, 5 reps, 6 reps, 7 reps, 8 reps, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20. Okay, you're done. You're good. That was you talking to Robert Tables. Oh, okay. All right. Welcome in Splashly, Dr. Dynamite. You were already here. I know you were here before. Do you expect to go outside today, Dr. Dynamite? Also, congratulations on your 69 in the drop game. Defines, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Nice to see you. Splashly with the dedicated vibes. Oh wait, hold on. I think I even have a dedicated vibes. There we go. 69 indeed, Dr. Dynamite. Oh no. Oh no. Ooh. Ooh. Oh dear. It didn't take long, friends, and it's already completely and utterly up the stream. Like, honestly, are you okay? Yeah, you can see OBS. Look at my OBS. It's like, I have like a thing here. Can you read this? No, you can't read that. Oh, it's okay. Okay, we fixed it. I think I fixed it. Whew. Gosh, okay. Oh. Rogmat, welcome in. Thank you very much for doing that. Never fear, Matt is here. The drop was awful. Yeah, did you get like, did you get sidewalled or something? That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. 10 out of 10. I am okay though. My head grew for a little bit. I was trying, like, I was... That's going to do my head in. The mic sound, what game does it remind you of? I'm not sure. Remind me not to drop when the stream is messed up. You know that it... Well, I'm not gonna... No, I won't say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. I won't say it. So the stream effect dyno, the audio thing is just a filter. It's just a glitch filter. So it's not from a game specifically. Anyhow, so I hope you had a great stream. I'm very curious to go back in the VOD and listen to what you said about my stream. I will definitely be doing that afterwards. I think it's great that you're offering criticism on people's streams. That's really nice.
Ring 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 banana phone boot boot bar doop bar doop. Ping pong ping pong ping pong ping banana phone, it's no baloney. It ain't a phony, my cellular bananula phone.
Oh no. Is that song DMCA? Is that song DMCA? Like, would I be able to play banana phone on stream as an alert? I think we have to check this now. I mean, I don't know. The copyright owner might like... It's a popular children's album released by Raffi and Michael Kreber in 1994. If you have a clip under 15 seconds... I'd love to know if we could figure that out.
Damn, look at that drip Matty. My slime, my homie. Big up two shoes. In the house. Party rocking. Yo, check it sir.
Wait, that's I know this one. I know this one, TD. It's wait, I know this one. I know it. It's that. It's the guy. LMFAO. Is that the band? LMFAO. Isn't it that the band? That's the one. Yeah. What was the song? Wait. Sorry for party rocking. Wasn't it that one? I think it's that one, TD. Ryan, yo yo yo. Welcome in, Ryan. It's your first time here. Look at that, Ryan. Ryan. Do you already have any clips from streaming, Ryan? Do you already have clips streaming? Because Ryan is a new member of the Claw.
Routes. I'm such a psycho, dude. Like, what am I doing? This is so...
Oh, wow, that was a very short clip. Okay. It's lots of slang words came out together. Really? Okay. Very interesting. Ryan is part of our Claw stream team, just like Toe. Just like Toe. And, believe it or not, everybody, just like Splashly. Have you done your clip maintenance? Oh, good music.
Oh
Great
my God.
music.
Just showed off an API key. I don't think it showed it, all of it. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
API key. No, really? Did you just dox yourself in my stream again? Oh no. Oh dear. Ryan, you have no clips in your creator dashboard. Oh, you should check check the second tab, because the first tab is only the ones you've made. The second one. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, like, Splashly, if you haven't updated the API key by now, like, it's a bit of a problem. Yeah, this is like a streamer fest, TD. Speaking of streamer fest, TD is also
We kind of need a bit of padding.
adding.
Adding 2 rem.
This is a tune.
2 rem, yeah, that works. And
Yeah, Rockmat. Bingo has a streamer doxes themselves, but we need to modify it to say streamer doxes themselves or anyone else accidentally. I'm doxing you, you're doxing. Oh, yeah. That's a, you know, Toe, I don't know if it's something that you do a lot, but I like to sing songs at home and modify the lyrics while I sing them. It's just something I really enjoy doing. I think I need to dial this back a tiny bit. Also, I don't know if that's copyright free, so sorry if Twitch gets you. I do that all the time. Life is a musical. It is, but it's such a fun thing to come up with different lyrics to famous songs. I like doing a lot of the Disney classic tunes because my partner, she loves Disney. So I like doing a lot of the classic. I also like doing a lot of the classic Disney tunes, you know, like Under the Sea, but like it's not under the sea, it's like under my tea, like t-shirt. Anyway, yeah, so if anyone else does that, I'm glad that it doesn't make me such a weirdo. I like doing that. Ryan, you've cleaned up your clips. That's awesome. Yes, cleaning clip maintenance is unfortunately one of those streamer things that you have to do. It's just one of those things. You know what we could do? I just realized we could actually make this window smaller so it's not as imposing. And I could allow you to change the background in this scene. I just realized that, chat. Also, why is my OBS here? That's strange. Did no one tell me that? That my OBS was too wide? No one said anything. No one said anything until now. Okay, so Disney tunes are amazing. My 8-year-old gets annoyed because she'll be listening to them on Alexa and I'll start singing out obnoxiously loud and acting the scenes out. Can we have a performance of Let It Go? No, it's DMCA, unfortunately, TD. It's yeah. You found a punk cover of Let It Go. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, no, I thought OBS was here. Like this bit here is OBS. So I have to always like, this is the thing, chat, okay? My screen is a widescreen. You know?
Clarkio is raiding with a party of 26.
My voice is so close to the original. That's right. I can hit all the right notes, TD, that if I did that, if I sang Let It Go on stream, I would get DMCA'd. Definitely. 100%. Oh my gosh. Greenwind, thank you for the follow. But Clarkio, thank you very much for that raid, friend. How was your stream today? I was hanging out for a bit while I was getting a few things set up, and I saw that you were having quite the party. Clarkio, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Those that are outside the US, Comcast Xfinity is a cable company, cable provider here in the US. One of the like very few, I think there's you can count on your hand how many cable providers there are. And what they do is, this is really going to backfire on you, Comcast. What they do is they come to an agreement between each other to say, hey, you know what, this territory of the US we're going to own, and then you own this territory, and they create these monopolies in their regions, forcing anybody that wants cable television or internet access in those regions, they can only have one real option for high-speed internet and cable television. That's what they do in the US here. It's a terrible thing. There is no real competition. And so you're kind of you're pigeonholed into you're stuck basically as a customer. You came to the wrong stream, Comcast. You came to the wrong stream. I'm so sorry.
Did Comcast come into your stream at one point? So that clip, for everyone watching, that clip isn't from this isn't from Clarkio's last stream. I just use it as a reference to understand what the vibe is like. Of course, I watch Clarkio, so it's a bit easier for me to understand. Oh my gosh, White Panther. 11 months? 11 months? Absolutely incredible. Clarkio, I hope you had a great stream. If you have to dash, that's also totally fine. Greenwind, you're not sure how you hadn't followed me yet. Well, I honestly, I don't know. Do we know each other? Have we seen each other before? I feel should we know each other? I don't know. Now I feel bad. Should we know each other? I feel a little bit called out. But yes, no hat, no beard Clarkio looks very different. In that clip, you looked easily 10 years younger to me. Definitely. And Surly Dev, welcome in. That's just for you. Meep, meep. See, it is meep meep, you see? I didn't say it wasn't meep meep. It's just a very deep meep meep, you know? YOLO, sir, please, sir. Dumpster Dev. Oh my god, is that the Maddie Two Shoes? Yes, Dumpster Dev. Yes, it is me. Me, Maddie Two Shoes. I have 2 shoes. Mostly on Discord. Ah, okay. Clip hygiene. Sir, please. Excuse me. Sir. Oh, wait a second. Is this... What?
Come on, ride the train. Hey, ride it, come on. Ride the train. Hey, ride it, come on. Ride the train. Hey, ride it, come on. Ride the train. Hey,
Wow.
ride it.
That enthusiasm. Karen, that enthusiasm is absolutely incredible. That enthusiasm. Doesn't that just get you fired up, chat? Doesn't that get you fired up? So, okay, we have a background. How do we get the background over here? Does that not work?
Where is mess up my stream?
That doesn't work. Mess up your stream is more expensive. I can't give you a background? Why is that? Oh, right, because this is on my...
Distort on.
Oh yeah, someone found it. Someone found it. Look at this. Look, I'm typing in chat right now. Typing in chat right now. Oh, I cannot read. Thank you very much, White Panther, for the resubscription. I appreciate that. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
You look like a big baby.
Distort off.
I look like a big baby? Oh my gosh. I am a big baby, you know? I am a big baby. Thank you very much, Karen. Just absolute gold. Absolute gold. Thank you, White Panther, very much for 11 months of support. I can't believe it's almost a year. A year. Can you believe that? A year? Thank you very much also for the bits. Splashly, Ian, Panther as well. Thank you very much for those bits. It's very appreciated. Shoeman, what up? Hey, Taps. Welcome in. I slept, woke up to eat. Ah, yes. That does sound very baby-like, doesn't it? That sounds very baby-like, actually. Sleep, eat, poop, repeat. That is very baby-like. And get out of here, Laze is cool. Just get the out of my stream. Even though I did that like a few seconds ago, I just wanted to take time. You're relentless. I start coding from 5 a.m. What? 5 a.m. She's not relentless, she's Tabs, Panther. That was the first time that that Laze is cool did write something here, but it wasn't a very nice message. You have the same bedtime that you did when you were 7. Thank you for the gym hype. Oh yeah, TD, did you finish your workout? Nice. Woo! Okay, welcome to my stream. This Friday is a little bit different than normal.
I get
what we're
knocked
doing
down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down.
Knocked down,
but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down.
Yeah.
But I get up again.
That's
You're
right.
never gonna keep me down.
That's right. I won't. Switch to just chat. Oh yeah, that's right, Panther. We're already in just chatting. You can't do it. Oh, Ophelia! Oh my gosh, Ophelia. Coming out of the lurk to feed the choo-choo. Oh my gosh, we're on a hype train. I hadn't even noticed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ophelia, thank you for using your Prime subscription on my channel. I am very, very, very humbled by that. By all of you choosing to spend Bezos's money on me. That is really just... It's very kind, really. It's just so kind. Oh, Rugmat! What are you doing, Rugmat? 100 bits. Oh, I think we missed the hype train. I think we missed the hype train. Do I even need to type today, Rugmat? I don't know. Thank you very much for those bits anyhow. Oh, Yoast. Yoast, thank you so much.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway. Because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Sec. 75. Intro to Barry INT. Benson house, day angle on, sneakers on the ground. Camera pans up to reveal Barry Benson's bedroom angle on. Barry's hand flipping through different sweaters in his closet. Barry yellow black, yellow bee.
Splashy was I think first with the vision trouble. I'm not entirely sure. It might one of you. I will just refund yours, Toe. Yost, thank you very much for gifting a sub. That's really not at all necessary and very appreciated. To Dryson, nonetheless. F indeed for
missing that hype train.
Distort on.
Haha, you see my hands are still normal. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, but the hands look super small now. What are we doing, chat? What is going on? This is not like... What do you want? What do you want to happen? What do you want?
From my stream.
Distort on.
Karen sound less robotic. Yeah, I know, right? You're not allowed to share the credit card number you used to gift that subscription here. No. Oh my gosh, it's Mongosaurus! But Splashly, yes, I will be most definitely having vision trouble. Why not? Because why not? We've already started. I received a very interesting text message. Interesting. Okay, so I could easily play a villain in this mode with tiny hands. Probably. Do I need to type anything? I don't know. Maybe not. So what are we doing on stream today? Tabs, you asked this question about 5 minutes ago. I will attempt to answer. So we are... The Data Cafe is going to be a format that I introduce probably every second Friday or maybe once a month, where we are going to cover topics either directly out of the data analytics world or topics that are somehow...
turtle.
Oh, that was unexpected. Or topics that are somehow data related, in the sense that there's like talk of some kind of data insight or something, and we can use that, we can talk about that data. So what I was just talking about now was Netflix's report. They lost 200,000 subscribers in Q1, in the first quarter. And that caused their stock to do a bit of a nosedive by 35%, apparently. Now, the thing is that for me, when I read that Netflix has a total subscriber base of 220 million, I know that 200,000 over 220 million is something like 0.09%. And of course, that's a bit strange for me to hear the stock tumble like that. But there were two other indicators, and we were talking about those things about how they've said that they expect to lose another million or two, and that they're trying to find a way to clamp down on account sharing, which they believe accounts for 100 million unauthorized users. Still, those things all together from an analytics perspective for me do not cause me to fear for the company's livelihood. So I don't understand the 35% nosedive. I honestly don't. Then again, I'm not a stock analyst, so you know, yeah. Steffi, sorry, I can't read chat. Steffi says, at least you did receive a weird message and not a weird call. Weird call? Oh, hello, wait.
You have a collect call from
Harry Sequel?
at the Clark County Prison. This call may be monitored or
Harry
recorded.
Sequel?
To accept the charges for this call, press 1.
No.
To refuse
No.
this call, hang up.
I'm definitely hanging up on that. Harry Sequel from Claw County Prison? What the? Weird. No.
May we have your attention, please? The owner of the vehicle with the license plate 69420 SQL.
Oh shit, that's my car.
Must move the vehicle immediately, or it will be towed. Thank you.
I have to move my car.
Disappointed!
Wait, what was too quiet? What was too quiet? The sound alert? Or the first one? Is Fiona sleeping? Yeah, I think she is actually. I think she is sleeping. Oh, Harry Sequel was too quiet. Oh, okay. I have to bump the volume on that. I'll have to bump the volume. Let's do that. I think Fiona's sleeping right now. Mm-hmm. Looks like she's sleeping. Prison. We can definitely bump that. 40%.
You have a collect call from
Harry Sequel?
at the Clark County Prison. This call may be monitored or recorded. To accept the charges for this call, press 1. To refuse this call, hang up.
I think that's better. All right, so we were talking about the ring is very loud, but the audio after is quieter. Yeah, I know. I couldn't really balance it out. Panther's old, apparently. Okay. Very well. Okay.
Garbage.
It's all garbage.
I'll just read the chat and wrap it up. I'll just read the chat and wrap it up. I'm a rep.
Garbage. Total garbage. Absolute garbage. Okay. So what we were doing was we were looking at different news out of the data analytics world. So for me as an analyst, like, I don't see, like, in one quarter losing 200,000 subscribers on a base of 221 million does not like make me think that the company is tanking. There are other indicators that people have been concerned about. There was something about them spending 16 million on creating new content last year or something, or 16 billion or something. So obviously they're spending a lot of money on creating content, but you know, that content they create should theoretically cause more value over time because the content lives for longer than just a month. Anyway, that being said, I want to show all of you a funny webcomic. Thank you. Ah, you clipped. Thank you, Rugmat, for clipping. A clip, 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 and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip. Thank you very much for clipping, Rugmat. I always appreciate when people make very good clips of the channel because they end up in the rotation for funny clips. When people do shoutouts or watch clips from other people's channels. So, moving on from Netflix, this is the next thing I wanted to show you. So, this is a very funny story, actually. In 2008, Chrome, the web browser Chrome, was launched. A lot of you probably don't even remember that. I don't remember that, to be fair. Oh wow. The music just actually cut. That's very creepy. Because OBS uses Chrome. Uh-oh. Are they angry at me? Is Google angry? Oh no. What happened? There we go. Whew, I got very nervous that Google was listening. Alright, so back in 2008, Chrome was launched. And to celebrate that, or even explain a web browser, they commissioned Scott McCloud, who's a comic artist, to create a comic book. And it's this one here, which you can actually access on Google Books. Thank you for the bit, Rugmat. I'll drop 2, why not? Now the book is pretty funny because it kind of explains what Google Chrome is as a browser. And anyway, so you can read this whole comic book. 30 million per episode of Stranger Things. Yeah, I don't know, something like this, Yos, exactly. So there's this whole comic book explaining how Chrome works and the process behind Chrome and how it wants to eat all of your RAM and all that stuff. I don't think they talk about the RAM in here. But what's very funny is, you know, Google has been increasingly, let's say, more in the limelight or in the spotlight about their data analytics and data tracking practices. So there's a comic artist and activist. Her name is Leah Elliott. She has created an updated comic book in the style of the original. She calls it Contra Chrome. And I'd like to take a look at this comic because it's actually insanely cool. Okay. All that memory gets reclaimed. Yeah, sure, Rugmat. Reclaimed by what? So this is pretty funny. We're not going to read the whole comic, but it's very funny. Hey, my name is Scott McCloud. I'm a cartoonist and comic scholar. Back in 2008, I created a comic book for Google, explaining the inner workings of their soon-to-be new browser, Chrome. The comic was a web phenomenon when for 2 days, it was the only source of information on a major software release. But now that we're entering the 2020s, me and the good folks at Google had the same feeling. Chrome has changed so much that we owe you guys an update. And yeah, so she has basically looked at the entire comic book, and she's decided to make her own version where it goes into a bit more detail. How do you get to the next page? I think something broke. Finite, welcome in. Very nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a lovely lunch. Everyone probably knows Finite by now, but it's worth checking if Finite has also done clip hygiene. So Finite.
I've got on the other laptop while I work and lurk. Thank you so much, Surly Dev. I really do appreciate it. What's this?
Surly Dev.
No, apparently it was not worth destroying. It's all good. It's all good.
Did you think I forgot about you, Panther? I was just using an example of Finite, but I don't want to play shout out clips all the time, but of course White Panther deserves a shout out. I'm not cool, but this is.
See, history. I don't want to install Git lens.
What was that? What was that? As long as it doesn't pick one from the last 48 hours, and you got lucky, Finite, it didn't pick one. It's set to pick recent clips only, but it obviously didn't pick one. That was 4 haircuts ago, and there was thunder. 4 haircuts ago. I like how we have universally accepted that we should measure Panther's stream age in haircuts. All right, so chat, here's the thing. I'm going to zoom in on this, and we're going to read one of the pages about the new version of the new version of this comic book. When you read the current privacy policy, you will find that Chrome collects your IP address, the words you search for, the videos you watch, the pages you visit, the ads you click, your purchase activity, the network of people you're in touch with, and much more, including voice and audio information if you use audio features. All facets of your life are scrupulously collected, analyzed, and assembled into an intimate profile, a data text that aims to describe what makes you, you. Google's business model is to sell access to these analyzed and refined data products to the highest bidder. For the everyday user, the Chrome browser therefore resembles a two-way mirror. You think you are browsing the web, when in reality, Google and others are browsing you, extracting your experiences without your awareness, your knowledge, or your consent. And this for me is like a perfect encapsulation of what the whole advertising sector is about. It is essentially exactly about a two-way mirror. It's about companies harvesting your data for the purposes of, yes, making their products better, but then the advertising side is creating revenue. I see you're on Brave now. Yes, I am using Brave. It was ultimately a performance decision though, and not a privacy decision. I have totally, as Yost says, they have my full consent. Google has my consent to track the crap out of me because it results in a tailored product for me. I get to use most of their products and services for free, and therefore I am consenting to that agreement. But yes, the Discord discussion was pretty savage about the I'll just say like this. If you are currently on Chrome and using a MacBook Pro with an Intel chip, my process that is responsible for drawing windows on screen, called Windows Server, was with Chrome hovering around 60 to 70% CPU usage. And Brave is now hovering around 20%. It is an absolute massive decrease in resources. It's exactly the same thing. It's still based on Chromium, so it's not anything vastly different. I have nothing against this data harvesting. That said, the opacity of the value of my data, what am I giving up, how much is it worth, is not equitable. That's exactly the thing, Finite. It's very hard to say what your data is worth. So yeah, I found this comic pretty funny, and there's a lot deeper you can go if you want to look at it. It's very, very interesting. I'll paste the link here in chat for all of you as well, if you'd like to look at it. I think it's a very interesting piece. It's almost, in a way, it's almost art. You could argue it's sort of art in a way, as well. So yes, that was just a little tidbit in between. Speaking of browsers, let's get on to the next topic. Speaking of browsers, this news came out this week, and this is a very, very interesting thing. This also affects the development world. If you are not aware of this standard, it's going to be something that's quite interesting as well. So the news came out that Brave and DuckDuckGo are blocking Google's AMP. So AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. AMP has been disputed for a long time, certainly around the publishing community, for its well-intentioned but actually very poor implementation. So the AMP project was revealed in 2015, so this isn't a new thing. White Panther says, I like these news streams more, please. I'm glad you like it, Panther. I'm just trying a new format. I don't know if people will like it. But yeah, if you like more of this, then please let me know. I plan to do it every 2 weeks or so, depending on how much volume there is of news. I may even set up an additional stream for this. Because the Friday night slot maybe is not the ideal place to do it. I may end up doing an additional weekday or weekend stream even to cover this kind of stuff. I don't know. Friday could be your news stream. It would be fitting for the end of the week, like what happened during the week in data. Interesting. I don't know much about AMP. Oh, okay. Yeah, AMP URLs are super annoying, Yoast. Exactly. It's interesting about Chrome Windows Server usage. I'm currently using Edge, which is basically just Chrome, but with Microsoft's botnet on Intel, and I'm hovering on 30% with the stream running. I wonder what Google did to use the additional resources. I can tell you. I can tell you exactly what it is. It's a program called Keystone. There's an entire site called Chrome is Bad.
What did the
that
grape
tells
say
you...
when it got stepped on? Nothing, but it let out a little whine.
Oh, finite. Oh my gosh, you know what I've just realized? Panther and Ophelia, I have completely forgotten. You can put your face on my face. You can put your name on the mask of subscription. Panther, what color and where would you like to be? I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. How bad am I? That's awful. I'm a terrible streamer. Let's check. I want to make sure I didn't forget any. Okay, Yoast, you gifted a sub as well. So Yoast, you can definitely choose as well. So Ophelia and Yoast and Panther. Were they only subs today? I might have missed another one. I don't think so. Did I miss anything? No. Okay. Chin Green for Panther. Wow, that's not on brand, but okay, I'll go for it. What kind of green, Panther? Green. Oh. Is this green okay, Panther? Hold on one sec. This kind of green? Neon green. Neon. I think that's the only neon I have. I have lime green. Oh shoot, excuse me. Okay. Chin green? Yeah, lime. There we go. Lime. Okay, lime. Very well. Okay, we'll do lime green. Lime green. White Panther on the chin. Okay. Let's see if you can see me writing this. White. Panther. There we go. Panther, welcome. Why doesn't that work? That's weird. Okay, there you go. White Panther. It's a bit yellowish, kind of. But thank you very much for the subscription. It's very appreciated. Yoast and Ophelia. Ophelia, if you're still listening, I think you're still here. You can also choose where you would like the names to appear. Yoast, it's because you gifted a sub. You choose your name on a piece of paper that you keep locked away in a drawer for privacy reasons. That's not a possibility. Did you miss the H in Panther, or did you just not write well? No. What are you talking about? Missed the H? No, of course not. Of course not. Mm-mm. No. It's definitely there. Yeah, it's definitely there. What are you talking about? It's definitely there. No, it's... I don't know what you're talking about. The H is right there. White Panther. It's all good. All good. You don't need your name on the mask. Okay, Yost. It was for your gifted sub to Dryson. So I'm just gonna write Dryson on there because Dryson got subbed. And I want to have a nice visual record of it. So I'm gonna choose where. And what color. Speaking of color, saffron. Let's go with purple. Let's go with purple.
Purple. We're gonna go. Dryson's gonna be up here. So Dryson, if you watch the stream, yeah. I don't know who broke the stream, but good job. Good job on breaking the stream. Yeah, great. Just amazing. Yeah. Even distorted.
Distort off.
I didn't know it would distort on the overlay. Ophelia, dark red is always on the cheek. Aw, like a kiss. Right? That's like a kiss. Isn't that nice? Aw, below Splashly. Ophelia. Oh.
The machine at the coin factory suddenly stopped working, with no explanation. It doesn't make any sense.
See, that only works in countries that use cents. In Switzerland, we'd have to say Rappen. And it doesn't make any Rappen, sounds weird. Ophelia... What is it? 69,420? No, 62,77. Alright, Ophelia. There you go. Right below Splashly. So that's all three on the mask. I will say thank you officially. Thank you very much for subscribing in the month of April. Again, we will have a new mask for every month. I have them hanging above my desk. And they're a wonderful reminder of the community that supports me every day while I stream, which is super cool. So thank you very much for that. Welcome in Exegete. Nice to see you.
One might say, saying it doesn't make any rap and doesn't make any sense.
Of course. Of course, Finite. Of course. Yes. The machine at the coin factory. Very good. Very good, Finite. I like that one. Switzerland is surrounded by countries that use cents in their currency. Close enough. Yeah, I guess so. Ah, oh, Rockman, you really want me to do this impression? Okay, I'll try. I will do my best bunny impression.
Cue bunny on.
Hello? I'm trying. Don't at me for trying. How much have you spent on Karen? That would be fun to see. Ooh, that's a really great idea. Should write this down. Channel point spend history per user. I totally want to do this now. I want to show everyone how much they spend on entertainment parts of the stream. Wouldn't that be fun? That could be kind of funny, actually. A Karen got censored by Twitch. What? Could be a feature for streaming extreme face. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But just from analysis point of view first, and then we could definitely do it as a feature later on. definitely. If you're wondering what Streaming Extreme Face is, it's actually my project that I'm working on called Just in Numbers. That's the official name. People like to call it Streaming Extreme Face. It's like your end of the year. Here's what you spent on various things with your credit card summary. Oh! That's like, what's Twitch's thing that they do once a year? When they tell you how many channel points you earned in each stream. Which is... I'm just gonna call it end of year summary. Twitch recap. Yes. Oh. What? Okay. Karen just flat out refused to say that, Yost. She just refused!
What's that smell? Failure.
She just refused. She's like, I don't want to read this. What is this? I don't want to read this. Twitch recap. Wrapped. Spotify Wrapped. But that's cool. You could call it like... You could call it something like that. Note to self. Twitch is unstable when streaming in the middle of nowhere in Arizona. Karen just had a stroke. It's a Chinese tongue twister made entirely of the word "shi" in dozens of meanings. Oh wow, that sounds fascinating though. Can you write it out in non-Chinese characters? Like, so that she would pronounce it? Because I think that would be really funny. I think that would be super fun to hear. For everyone
on stream. Oh, I'm apparently not queued anymore. Which is a great cue, because I need to refill my water. And so we're going to take a very short 1-minute break, and I will run an ad, and then all of us can return hydrated. Make sure that you also drink something. Stand up from your desk or couch or wherever you are. Just stretch, you know, for like 10 seconds or something. It's just going to be, you know, it's going to be better for you if you do it. So, ooh, interesting. I wonder if she would pronounce that differently.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Interesting. We've been up for an hour and a half, Exegete. So yes, see you all in a short second.
Wow.
You just drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah. Drop down. Snap. Ah.
She 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 she
Fine.
she 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 she
Like this.
she 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 she
I'm sorry.
she 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 she
I'm sorry.
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 Good, that's the one.
Wow, that really blew my mind. Like, I have goosebumps.
about failure?
What are you doing, chat?
Put my faith in data, information. Ones and zeros never lie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she didn't really nail that, Yost, did she? Clip and a clap, and then you got your Twitch clip.
Oh no. Oh wow.
I think I am.
Oh dear.
Text message.
Oh no. Oh dear. That's bad.
Show me what you got.
Oh dear.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got.
Oh my gosh. Hmm.
Same day delivery. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. You can't stream me back to my childhood.
That's a lot of memes.
And Secretary Cardona and Mayor Bowser.
Well, we already
and
lowered the
Chancellor
volume of this one,
Berman.
and it's still so
You know,
loud.
thank you for joining us as well.
Crazy.
And for families across the country.
Despite Mystery Husband being thankful, he still hasn't hydrated. Yeah, they're cute. I mean, but if they're all together, it wouldn't make any sense. Would it? Yes, Exegete. Is Fiona, is the bunny okay? It looked like she wasn't walking well. So she has some kind of thing with her leg. Well, actually, it's not with her leg.
Hey Matty, did I tell you I got an album of wasp sounds the other day, but when I listened to it, it didn't sound anything like wasps.
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah,
I'm not ready.
turns out I was listening to the B-side.
Ah! No. Alan! No! No! Why? These are so bad. It makes them so good. Welcome in, Alan. They'd play a lot faster if there was no queue, but it would be fun. Stop the queue. Remove the queue. The delay on the punchline was truly amazingly perfect. The fact that she paused in between, that's what did it. Exegete, so your question about Fiona. She has as she gets older.
Did you hear the one about the noise cancelling headphones? No. Q. 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 No. Q.
Rockman ruined
me
it.
Neither.
Rogmat just absolutely, what's it called? When you come in between? I mean, other than ruin, there's a word for it. Ah, wait. Not debated. No. Combo breaker? Combo garbage. I don't know. Yeah, there's a word for it, but I don't remember. Oh, right. Joke blocked. Yes, you've been joke blocked. Banning you from my stream, Rockmat. Ban reason. You interrupted my joke. Oh, yeah, so Exegete. Fiona has as she gets older, she has a little bit more issue with her muscles in her core and her back. So sometimes she gets a bit more tired and then she kind of just drags. Oh my god, no way. It's Panther Chicken. Have you been Panther Chicken blocked? That timing was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. The fact that that's random, Steffi, that is like the best thing ever. I can't believe this. Yes, Panther Chicken blocked is when someone interrupts your joke. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, she drags her butt a little bit sometimes. Be right back buying a lottery ticket. You should. So we were talking about browsers before. I'm sorry to hear about that. Our 14-year-old Sophie is having trouble controlling her legs, using a sling to carry her around. Wait, 14-year-old dog or bunny? Bunnies getting 14 is very rare. The life expectancy for a bunny is usually 10 years max.
Matty, somebody broke in and stole all of the lamps in my house. Every single one of them. I couldn't be more delighted.
No! No! Delighted. Speaking of lights, I've been asked to censor myself by White Panther. Well, Panther, if you want me to be censored, it's fine. I got out his dad joke book.
How do JavaScript developers stay fit? Oh wait.
Await what? Await the gym? Await jogging? I don't even know. I feel like there could be something else there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Might have a spreadsheet he uses to track Karen jokes. Wait, so Alan, are you saying that you have a spreadsheet so that you know which ones you've already pasted in chat before? Because if so, that's very impressive.
It's not on the list. Jonah, the list came from the internet. The international
Ooh.
network.
The internet. Oh wait. I'm not saying that technically. Rugmat may also have a gist to track the list of memes that have been said in the channel. That could also be quite fun to use, like captioning from Karen to figure out which jokes she's told already.
A SQL query goes to a restaurant, walks up to 2 tables and says, "Can I join you?"
I should probably ban you for that, Yost. I should probably ban you for that joke. But I won't, because it's amusing. And you didn't say right join, so it's okay. So speaking of data privacy, Steffi, toe the line very carefully. Speaking of data privacy, so someone asked me why I switched from Chrome to Brave, and this is the reason. Keystone. Basically, there's a thing called Keystone, which is an
CTO
updater.
calls all hands. Game over.
Keystone is an updater from Google, and it just absolutely brings...
The tables replied, "Let us check with our relatives."
Keystone just absolutely slows Macs to a crawl. It's absolutely awful. And it's been logged as an official bug now in Chrome. So yeah. That's how much
Why
there is
are
to
they
say.
letting so many foreign keys into this restaurant?
So speaking of browsers, AMP.
Brave and DuckDuckGo are blocking Google's... Oh no, I hit my microphone with the glasses. I'm sorry. Sorry. Excuse me. That's not good. I'm trying to keep them from getting scratched. Oh no, Panther, did you get bingo? No way. No. Did you fill the card? Show me. Show me your board. No. Did you get bingo, Panther? That would be super cool. I didn't realize anyone was playing. I forgot. I completely forgot about it. I just update the board ID every time I go to stream, just so it's a different board every time. But I didn't realize anyone was playing. That's super cool. But did you actually get bingo, or did you falsely declare bingo? Panther. We're all waiting with hesitation.
Matty, what did one flag say to the other? Nothing, it just waved.
This world these days stream bingo. What URL is this? Do I even want to open this on stream? I'll tell you what. Sure, I'll open it on stream.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
So close. So close. So close, Panther. I don't think the drums are enough. I don't think the drums are enough, to be honest. I don't think the drums are enough. Thanks, Steffi. Every time you say it's legit, it's a bingo board, I know that you're gonna be lying from now on. Friday shenanigans. So you declared a false bingo, Panther. That is the greatest sin in the history of stream sins. So what did Google introduce with AMP? Google wanted to introduce speed for mobile. If you don't remember what browsing the web in 2015 was like on a mobile device, you may remember it was not great. Let's just put it that way. A lot of the sites back then were not optimized for mobile. First, this is 7 years ago, chat, okay? A lot of sites were not mobile optimized and they were very slow. And so Google said, hey, you know, let's have an open source project that everyone can adopt this universal standard for AMP, right? The problem is, on paper, it's a great idea. The execution of it was not great. For example, Google started to favor sites that used AMP over sites that didn't use AMP for its news feature, which meant that any site that was a news site that wanted to get featured in its top stories carousel. So if I do
I
breaking
remember getting
news,
excited when the iPhone went from Edge to 3G.
this thing here, okay? This thing here, to my knowledge, still pulls from AMP pages, right? I remember getting excited when the iPhone went from Edge to 3G. You were in the middle of a Karen. So basically, Google started prioritizing sites that had that implemented, which meant that all the publishers had to go out and build AMP versions of their sites. Oh yeah, Google's walked back on that. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if that's really true though. You know, I don't know if you don't have an AMP site and if you do have an AMP site, because you can't really test it, right? You can't like disable AMP for your entire website and see if Google ranks you better for different news articles. Like it's not something easily you can test, right? So what happened? Brave and DuckDuckGo have decided to block AMP entirely. So if you load or share an AMP page anywhere on a DuckDuckGo app, sorry, that's their tweet, I didn't want to click that, or their extension, the original publisher's webpage will still be used in place of the AMP version. So how does AMP work? Okay, Let me show you a graphic. I can probably find a good graphic in 2 seconds of how AMP works. That's an amp. We're gonna try and get the real amp, the other amp. Yeah, this is a pretty accurate image. Okay. It's also very small. Can't they, like, why do people upload images that are 300 pixels? Like, who's gonna look at this? How do I make this large? Large. Size? Large. I don't want to draw a graphic now because I think it's a waste of time.
Disappointed!
Pardon me, sir. Have you heard of amplifiers? Thanks for playing that, by the way, Aiden. This is probably the closest I can get. Yeah. Okay, this works. Yeah, okay. People on cell phones using AMP will look at them. Have you heard of command ? What? What is command ? Command plus ? Oh, it's gonna blur. No, zooming in is gonna make it pixely, Panther. That's not good. I have something in my eye, I'm sorry. So, command plus. That's like a powerful command. So Bruce Clay, thank you very much for uploading this image for us. Basically, if you have a site, Financial Times or The Times or Telegraph or whatever, or your CMS, whatever site it is, you can produce 2 versions of your page. You have an HTML page, which we have for now for every website. You have a page that is structurally at least HTML, right? And then you produce a second page called AMP HTML. And that second page gets taken into Google's cache, and Google's cache, or the other sites caches, and even in that sense, because you can self cache on AMP as well, serve you that on a mobile device as a preferred option. That would be how AMP works. Now, what Brave and DuckDuckGo are doing is basically saying, if you're trying to be served an AMP page here, they are automatically going to redirect you to the original HTML page, because that always still exists. That's what I wanted to say with that. So the reason they're doing this comes back to, surprise, surprise, privacy concerns. Basically, DuckDuckGo and Brave say that AMP is bad for privacy because it allows Google to track users even more. Most notably without consent, right? So basically, by Google having a standard for the web, granted it's open source, but they kind of own it because they dominate search, right? By making a standard like that, they cement a monopoly on search, right? So they create a system. Michael, are you also disappointed? They cement their monopoly into a system where they create a necessity for publishers and other sites to consistently create more things to be ranked. I think the AMP version embeds Google's ads as well instead of the original publisher. That is possible. I'm not familiar with that specifically. I do know that from a technical point of view and from an analytics point of view, AMP is a lot more difficult to implement. It is very, very tricky to get right, and a lot of publishers hate AMP. To be fair, a lot of developers hate AMP too. So Brave has a lengthy blog post explaining it's a monopolization of the web. It's confusing for users because they're not actually on thetimes.com or, you know, washingtonpost.com. they're actually on Google's cache, which Google controls, but the content is from
Matty,
this other site.
Let me tell you about my grandfather. He was a good man, a brave man. He had the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban from the zoo.
That's very gruesome. It's very gruesome, Finite, but understandable. Understandable. So essentially, yeah, and they're saying that AMP is generally not a good thing, right? And Google had a report, and this is quite interesting. The Department of Justice, in whatever context, there was a report from Google itself that AMP comes with performance and usability issues of its own. So it's meant to solve that. The whole point of AMP was to solve performance and usability for mobile. But the opposite happened. And did no one actually land? I'm disappointed. So this is like how AMP looks like. See these little lightning bolt icons? It's definitely rigged. These lightning bolt icons here represent AMP, accelerated mobile pages. Now, Google is obviously quite upset about this decision. Ooh, Rockman. Okay. Hello, Beats. Welcome in. The thing is, Google's quite upset about this decision because Brave and DuckDuckGo are not small players in the web space, right? Accelerated, exactly. They are not exactly small players in the web space, especially Brave. So Google's a little bit peeved about this decision. Now, of course, this comes from a privacy perspective, which for a data person like myself, it's absolutely understandable that if a publisher provides their own site, they control what ads are run there. They control everything that's happening on that site. As soon as you have something that's not hosted on your site, and don't forget, accelerated mobile pages come from Google's cache, so they could technically do whatever they want. They could inject their own code, their own trackers, their own ad, and they would subject the user to that. And that's basically what Brave and DuckDuckGo are talking about. So this is the thing, right? The AMP tech for the beginning, good intentions, but it was very controversial when it was introduced, and the industry has wanted to move away from it for some time. And now a decision like that from Brave and DuckDuckGo, in my opinion, is the step that a lot of publishers might have needed to say, let's do it, let's do that. And you know, Vox Media, for example, have said, oh, we're getting rid of AMP completely. And there are other publishers debating the same thing, and those that were on the fence now, this might be a reason for them to, you know, to dump AMP completely. So yeah, this hasn't been shipped yet for Brave. It's only going to be out in 1.138. DuckDuckGo, it's already done. It's already enabled it. So if you are, why we're talking about this from a data perspective, very important. If your site has a percentage of search traffic coming from DuckDuckGo, and you are a publisher or you are another site that uses AMP, you will start to see a traffic shift of some kind, probably due to that change. And if you have a sizable amount of traffic coming from Brave as well as a browser, then you're also going to see a shift in change in how your data is reported for AMP pages. AMP is as accelerated as Google Chrome on Mac. Absolute burn, indeed. Absolute burn. Unfortunately, there is no good motivation for the publisher to stop if they have a good AMP setup. That is true, Exegete, but the more publishers hopping off that wagon will cause Google to revisit the AMP topic, I think. the pressure is going to be very high. Let's put it that way. So, browser news. Speaking of Google, let's talk about a very, very, very big topic that you've probably read about or heard about in the last few weeks, and that is Google's deprecation of Universal Analytics. And this is not a small thing. Ooh, Indufra. Indufra Escape? Escape? Thank you very much for the follow, and welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great day. Google's announcement of the deprecation of Universal Analytics sent out massive shockwaves in the analytics industry. Why? Why did such a, in my opinion, quite predictable move send out shockwaves? Well, first let's look at, by the way, thank you to Cardinal Path for putting this article together. It's very, very good. They're an agency, by the way, not sponsored. What does this mean? What was the announcement? Okay, so Google announced today, which was, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that Universal Analytics, which is the current version of Google Analytics, which is known as, Google Analytics went from multiple versions. It started as what was called Urchin.js, which was built by people not from Google, by the way. Google actually acquired Urchin.js a long time ago. And they went through multiple transitions, and the current version of Google Analytics, which is called Universal Analytics, will be deprecated. So it means that they will no longer support it officially. But here's the thing. They did this once before, when we went from Classic Analytics, what's known as now Classic Analytics, or Google Analytics at the time. When we went from Google Analytics to Universal Analytics, they did the same thing. They deprecated it. They sunsetted the previous version. And there wasn't this huge fanfare, or I don't know what you want to call it. There wasn't such a huge kerfuffle around this. But there's two differences now. There's two big differences about why this is not the same. Firstly, the deprecation is happening in 2023 through the fact that as of October 1st, 2023, which is for paid customers, so for most of us using Google Analytics in a free version, July 1st, 2023, those Google Analytics versions will no longer process any data. Zero. It means that the data collection will stop. And this was not the case last time with the deprecation. This is a stop of support. It's literally a cutoff. You will not have any data in Google Analytics anymore after that date. So that makes this a pretty significant move, because according to latest statistics, okay, let's look at this statistics. I looked at this the other day. If you want to know about usage statistics, trends on built with. I'm going to show you the statistics so you can understand the scope of this. So built with is like a sort of tracker for the internet in a way. They know of 28 million websites using Google Analytics. I just want that number to sink in for a second. This is the equivalent of a major change in something like NPM in a Node.js module or something, like a significantly popular analytics software like Google Analytics. This is going to break 30 million websites. Sorry, that's not the right term. I shouldn't say that. This is not going to break 30 million websites. 30 million websites that rely on Google Analytics today, if they do not do anything, they are going to stop collecting data as of July 1st, 2023. That's not a small thing. That's really not a small thing. There are a lot of sites that use Google Analytics that are not small whatsoever. many major websites use Google Analytics. And so this was the big thing that most people have now also kind of latched onto, is that you need to start now planning how to move away from Google Analytics or how to upgrade. Was it Universal which was superseded by GA? I don't quite understand your question, Exegete. The timeline was Google Analytics, which is the same, like the original Google Analytics, and then came Universal Analytics, and now after that is going to be Google's new version, GA4. Google Analytics 4, also known as GA4. Good thing we're using Matomo at work already. Yes, so you're in a good position. So what this means is that you need to start thinking about right now as a company, you need to start thinking about if you're going to go to Google Analytics 4. So are you going to stay with Google Analytics and go to the newest version, or are you going to move away from Google Analytics? Good thing I'm not using any Google Analytics anymore. Okay, that's great. Then you don't have to worry about that, Panther. That's good. There are a lot of people, though, 30 million websites, that will have to be thinking about this question. So the deprecation is pretty severe. What does it mean then? What's the second part about why this is so severe? Their new product is called GA4. Basically, the new version of Google Analytics changed from a design point of view. It changed a lot to the current version. And that's why this is such a big deal, because when we went from classic Google Analytics to Universal Analytics, it wasn't as drastic because the underlying model of how the data was collected was basically the same. The problem is that Universal Analytics and GA4 are very different. Are very, very different. And here's the timeline, by the way. So Exegete, you asked about the timeline. So we had Urchin. Urchin was 2005 to 2012. And that was all the way up to, 2012. And then in 2012, we had the Universal Analytics tag, which introduced basically the Google Classic Analytics. And at some point we were introduced, I don't remember exactly when it was, but Universal Analytics was basically 2012 onwards. Yeah, exactly. So there wasn't a step after Universal anymore. No, it went from Universal now to GA4. That's essentially. So here's the thing. This is the difference. And this is what everybody is basically harping on about. And a lot of you are very technical in chat, so we can definitely talk about this more from a technical standpoint. For those of you that are not so technical, this is a little bit harder to understand, but it's worth talking about. Basically, before, the data model of Universal Analytics was very simple. You had hits that were collected on the site, so every click, for example, was collected, and then you had sessions, so all of the hits are rolled up into a session of a certain duration, maximum 30 minutes, etc., blah blah blah. There's like 50 something different rules about how a session can be calculated, and this was rolled up into a user at some point. If you could obtain, I mean, this isn't to say identified user or not, it's just how they summarized it as a user. Okay, now GA4 is bonkers and is completely different. Basically, it works entirely with events, which you can think about as hits. Hits are essentially events, but the events can be literally anything. And those events carry parameters and also properties about the user, which is then rolled up into the users. Surly Dev, I created a clip as a bookmark. Please don't delete it. I'm going to point our team towards this on Monday. We use Google Analytics. Yes, this is very important. Surly, thank you very much for doing the clip. I appreciate that. A clip, and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip. I did not turn off VODs. Do you not see any VODs on my channel? Clip, 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 and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip. Do you not see any VODs on my channel, Surly? That would be very concerning. It's already muted. You should see VODs. I went earlier. Panic is over. Twitch is still loading for me. It's not the fastest website while I'm streaming. Let's put it that way. It's not the most performing website for me while I'm streaming. Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. All right, so basically, another slowest React app ever. Twitch needs to use AMP for faster page loads. Savage. Absolutely savage. Absolutely savage, chat. So, this is the thing, chat. First of all, basically Google said, July 1st next year, we're not processing any data for 30 million websites that currently use Google Analytics in Universal Analytics version. 30 million. So they've knowingly, and I say knowingly because they know how many sites are using Google Analytics right now. They know that because they collect the data on their servers. There isn't a way to self-host Google Analytics. It's a cloud service, right? So then they know exactly how many hits they're processing from how many websites. They have willingly taken the decision to cut a sizable amount of those customers off. Now I say customer, it's a free product, but they're still a customer, right? They're using your product. For me, they're still a customer, right? I have a product called Lurk Reveal, okay? If you go to this site, if you go to Lurk Reveal, I built a product. It's completely for free, right? But someone using this site is a customer. Just because they're not paying me money doesn't mean they're not a customer for me, okay? Now, so Google has decided that out of those, I don't know, probably more than 30 million. I would probably estimate it's higher, probably closer to 35 or even 40 million. Of all those sites using Google Analytics, they know that a lot of them are not going to upgrade because they won't meet the deadline. The sites are too small for them to care. They're not aware of it. They go to something else. Like there's so many different reasons about why someone would not choose to upgrade that they will just deprecate. And I think that's going to be probably more than half. Like that's my estimate. So we're going to see 15 to 20 million websites around the world, many of them which you may even use them daily, just not collect data with Google Analytics anymore. Now, for the user, that's kind of crazy awesome, right? Because it means that your data isn't being sent to Google anymore without consent. Because a lot of these sites weren't asking for consent before sending data to Google Analytics. Let's be honest, okay? Which for the end user, that's great. For performance of the site, it's great. We have less trackers firing, right? The code that they execute, it just literally won't work anymore. It will just be like a 404 or whatever in the browser. So overall, that's a great outcome for the user. For Google, it's probably a cost thing, right? Because they don't need to process hits from all of those websites anymore. They don't need to provide a service for free. So they're even reducing their costs. Easy. From a marketing perspective, I don't know if it makes sense for them to reduce their possible base of, I don't know, potential customers. That's a calculation that they did. I'm sure they're doing just fine. I wonder if upgrading to GA4 somehow offloads GDPR requirements from Google to companies doing the upgrade. The GDPR requirements are exactly the same with both tools. It's just that with GA4, there are easier ways to implement these privacy things. And that's actually some of the things in this article as well. Surly Dev, if you want access to this article, I can just paste it here as well. These are 15 of the big differences between the two. And here's the thing. Google has released something called consent mode, which allows you to collect some data while not identifying people uniquely. So you can still be compliant and still collect something, because basically GDPR isn't about turning off data collection. That's not what it's about. GDPR is about protecting the rights of the user or the person or the identifiable person. No problem, Surly. And if your team wants to, Surly, I'm really happy to also jump on a call with them or something and answer some basic questions. I'm not super deep into this topic, but I can definitely point them in the right direction or give them some guidance about it. If they want to do that, I'm totally open to doing that. That's no problem. But does Google gain the ability to say they upgraded, they must have known about GDPR when it was implemented? In terms of responsibility, let's put it this way, Exegy. In terms of responsibility, data collection always resides with the website owner. But as data gets collected, GDPR makes a distinction between a processor and a controller. It's a little bit complicated. Oh, very nice. Thank you, Surly Dev, for doing that. I appreciate it. So basically, GDPR makes a distinction between a data controller and a data processor, and they both have different types of obligations and different types of requirements, let's say, that they have to fulfill. So Google can't just pass the ball in that sense, like, oh, we release consent mode, so we're not liable anymore. It does mean that if data gets collected and lands on Google servers, they have to delete it if it wasn't collected with consent, according to the law. Whether they do that, I don't know. I can tell you my personal anecdote from this. In Google Analytics, it was pretty common to get email addresses or telephone numbers in Google Analytics because people would click a mail to link or click a telephone number link, and that event would be sent to Google Analytics, and it would contain the label, which was very often the phone number or the email address. And every single policy from Google says if you collect any type of PII, so personally identifiable information, which an email or phone number definitely is, they would delete it. They would delete the entire hit from the server. I never ever in my 10 years of working with Google Analytics saw a hit like that removed. There's probably reasons about why not. I don't know what those reasons are, but it didn't do it. So to summarize this, okay, why this is a big deal. A, there's a timeline. That timeline is not that long. July 1st, 2023 right now seems like a long time away. But if you consider for just a moment, let's consider that your site is a large site, and you run one release a month to production, okay? That means that July 1st, 2023, right now, it means that your last release before that will be June. So let's do a little timeline here. Let's do a little timeline and see how you would plan this. Okay, assuming that you have one production release per month. I know there are plenty of companies that have one production release every 2 weeks with their sprint cycle or whatever. But let's be honest, a lot of companies are not on that kind of cycle. Okay, so it's currently April. You've just found out about this. Okay, so your next release is going to be May 2022. And then your next release after that is going to be June 2022. All the way up to July. Yep. So July 1st, that's the deadline. So this is when you have to have something done, okay? Can you use some kind of wrapper around an older implementation, something that client-side turns UA calls into GA4 calls? No, unfortunately not, Yoast. So the way that Analytics.js works is basically the network call that's done to Google is constructed by Google's Analytics.js. And if you use the old version, you're targeting the old endpoint. And so if you would take that old data and target the new endpoint, you'd have to completely change the data model in order to do that. And it just doesn't make any sense. Even if technologically you could transform the old data model into the new one, which honestly isn't really possible. Like, you can't take something that was on session level before and convert it onto event level. It doesn't work. You can only go up. You can't go down the chain of the data model. It's just not possible. Could Google release a wrapper if the data model can be mapped? So I don't think the data model can be mapped, and I also think Google has no interest in releasing such a thing at all. They want everybody to go to GA4 who's interested to go to GA4, essentially. That's their current standpoint. They have a blog post about it as well if you want to read a bit more. But let's look at something really interesting, okay? It's April 22nd. You've just heard about this. GA4 was released in beta already almost 2 years ago. 2023. It hasn't even been released yet. So GA4 was released in beta already almost 2 years ago. I don't know when it officially came out of beta, but it was before today. So you're essentially, let's make a column here. Okay, this is going to be called a Gantt chart. So this is going to be UA, Universal Analytics, to GA4 or something else, whatever else, it doesn't matter. Basically, you have to change. So you're going to have a planning phase, right? How many sites are already on GA4? This I don't know. I don't have access to that. So you're going to have a planning phase. It's going to take you at least probably 2 months. Conservatively, it's going to take you 3 months to figure out what you're going to do. Okay? That means getting everybody together, sitting at a table or on a call or whatever, maybe even hiring consultants. If you don't have analytics people in-house, you can totally reach out to me. I'm happy to sit with your team if you really want to. I really don't mind. 3 months is optimistic, let's say. At least to know what you're going to do. At the end of those 3 months, you'll at least know, oh, okay, do we go to GA4 or do we start looking at other solutions? Of course, if you start looking at other solutions, this could easily go into September, okay? Let's put it into September. Let's say 5 months, okay? Because you also have here, July, August, you've got holiday time. Prime summer vacation. People away, not reachable. Okay. So 5 months. Also, this irks me that they're not the same width. 1 second. 66. Let's make it 69. Nice. Okay. So we need more time. Just think of the team's velocity. Exactly. Think of the velocity. So you're planning about what to do. Okay? The outcome is change. So basically is the outcome is GA4 or else. Maybe something else. Okay? Then what happens is you start doing your implementation planning. So this is where you take all of your requirements from all of your stakeholders. As you said, Yoast, the reporting is only one part. The data analysis is the other half. Like, you got to collect the data first properly, but all of the reporting and everything needs to be changed as well. If you're using Google Analytics data in wrap-up reports, everything, zoom. We want to zoom. Okay, we're too small. 1 second. Where is the zoom thing? Why is this not visible? View. Ah, it's here, 100%. We're gonna go to 150. Okay, so then you're getting into implementation and planning. There is a 12-step migration path. Oh my gosh. Is there a 12-step migration? Wow, look at that. Consider your account structure. Create a GA4 property. Create data streams. Enable collection. Activate signals. That's very low effort. Link to Google Ads. Map custom events to GA4. Migrate your goals and conversions. Validate and bid conversions in Google Ads. Migrate your audiences. Migrate e-commerce. And then add people.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's just for GA4. You're going to be doing all this planning. We need more time. That's right. You're going to be doing all this planning probably for at least 3 months, probably for 5 months. Especially if you go to a different solution, it's going to take you that much time to figure out what you're doing. Okay, so suddenly we're looking at 5 months to figure out what the hell you're going to do, 5 months to plan. Then what happens? Everybody knows, chat. We know what it is. Someone want to say what it is? I know all of you know what it is. Christmas! That's right. Okay, that's in December. But what happens? Yuletide greetings. What happens March 2022? Suddenly, you're in development because you don't have time. You have 3 months. You have 3 months to do all of your development, because guess what? You need to do your reporting and data ops. So let's talk like changing your ad accounts, changing everything. You have 1 month. I mean, you can start a little bit before depending on how things work, but you would have 2 months to do that. Okay, chat? So look at this. Very simple. This is why, chat, it's very simple. If you are using Google Analytics today, this is why you have to start today to figure out what you're going to do by June 2023. Because by 1st of July, you ain't going to get anything anymore from Google. It's just going to stop collecting data. It's very simple. I can hear the dev teams that have to upgrade to GA4 sighing in their backlog refinements right now. That's right, because for something to get into this release, into a release for May or June, it has to be 2 or 3 months before. Most planning doesn't happen that fast in most companies. Again, this is not the case for every single company. I know companies that could easily start in November with the planning, and they would be just fine. They would have enough time to hear. But do not underestimate this. Do not underestimate this at all. This is a huge thing. Data collection on websites is important. Doing it properly is important. Otherwise, you literally don't know. And we're talking about product data too. Like, a lot of people use Google Analytics to measure the how people use their product, right? Like how someone uses a Google Sheet or something. So this is a big deal. The timeline is a big deal, and the data model change is a big deal. If you were using GA, if you're using Universal Analytics today and you're going to GA4, it's a completely different data model. And if you're going from Universal Analytics to another tool like Matomo or Pweek or whichever other tools you want to look at, friendly analytics, simple analytics, plausible analytics, there's hundreds, right? There's hundreds of possibilities. It's a different data model as well. It's a different data model and a different collection mechanism. So you're going to need that time. Data collection on websites is important, cancelled by privacy nerds. Yes, for sure. There's a debate to be made for that exegete. The privacy debate is real. Yet again, I will ask the question, does someone think that we are not living in an era of personalization? Personalization relies on data collection. It is literally impossible for Netflix to do their job of recommending you content without Netflix collecting data on what you watch and what you don't watch and what you don't click. And of course, privacy nerds or people who are very, very bullish on privacy will say, I buy Netflix, I buy a subscription, I consent to the fact that they collect that data in order to make the product better for me. And everybody is happy with that. That's totally fine. What doesn't fly is some person going to a website for e-commerce, browsing some items. Like, they don't have an account there, okay? Someone just goes to an e-commerce website, they browse some items, they put some stuff in their cart, and 3 days later on Facebook, they get an ad for one of those products in their cart from that company. They never consented to having their data shared. They never consented to that. And in some countries that would be legal, and in some countries it would be illegal to do that. So, as Steffi says, data collection is fine as long as you're open about what you're collected and you give everyone the option to opt out, and you're doing it in a way that you don't already breach the person's data privacy rights by collecting it in the first place according to the laws in your country. Very simple. I think we're already GA4 at work and I use another provider in your own stuff. Great, Beats. That's awesome. Yeah, there's plenty of other providers out there. Google Analytics is not the only solution, but this is real. This is happening for 30 million websites. This is happening. The problem is all the consent pop-ups are awful and no one has time to read them when they need to get stuff done. That's right. And I'm not saying the current system is good. Far from it. The current system around consent pop-ups, module things is awful. It was meant to make the web easier and it went in the opposite direction. And I think we're gonna have an ad, by the way, speaking of consent, I'm sorry. I think it's obviously very simple for governments to say, oh, have a privacy policy on your website and don't do this and don't do that. The implementation is like, the implementation is something completely different. It's just so off the charts complicated when you consider both the data controller and the processor, and is the processor in a different country than you reside in, or that the person is potentially coming from. There's 90,000 different regulations and interpretations of the law as well, because not everything is black and white. There's like a gray area as well about, is this actually is consent required for this particular situation? 90 million lumens indeed. So takeaway from that, start planning it. Start planning now about what you're going to do. Use it as a great, use it as a chance. Use it as a chance to also talk about data collection in your company. If you don't collect data in your product today and you're an analyst, then I don't know what you analyze, to be honest. Of course, there's stuff from the backend and SQL databases and stuff, but yeah. Those consent panels have so many dark patterns. Some of the solutions I've seen are ridiculous, and how creative they got making them is confusing. Oh yeah. It's a very, very, very sad situation. And when the cookie consent banner needs its own cookie consent banner, which requires its own cookie consent banner, you know that the system is broken. Yes, the cooldown got you there, Rugman. Not on the lights, because the lights don't have a cooldown. I don't think I can set a cooldown on the lights, actually. I don't think that's even possible. So yeah, start planning today. That's the first thing, because of the timeline. And second, is about thinking about other solutions. GA isn't the only solution out there. Think of other ones. There's plenty of websites that will offer you information about that. Sorry. Start planning today, start crying tomorrow. I heard Maddie say 90, so I had to try. Yeah, I don't remember in what context that I said 90. Can you do a full dump of every session and user data from GA4, like into something you can run queries over on BigQuery? GA4 has a native connector to BigQuery. Yoast. So yeah, if you want to have like everything from GA4 in BigQuery, there's a native stream for it. You can activate that already. Universal Analytics had a connector as well to BigQuery, but it was only with the paid version of Google Analytics, Google Analytics 360. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Probably because White Panther typed it. I didn't read the chat. I just came out of Lurk to type 90. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Rockmat, also, congratulations on reaching...
Read the chat and wrap it up, but just read the chat and wrap it up.
Yuka! Underscore with underscore data is raiding with a party of 16. Who's that
Yuka! Jigglypuff. Oh my gosh. Yuka! Oh my gosh. A data streamer. Oh my gosh. Yuka! I'm so excited. Oh, I discovered Yuka just a few days ago, chat. It's absolutely bonkers that there is another data streamer on Twitch and I didn't know about them. Can you believe that? I could not believe that I didn't know about another data streamer. But it makes sense because Yuka and I are on very, very different time zones. Thank you, Steffi, for the shout out. I will also do a shout out so we can get a clip. How's your clip hygiene, Yuka?
That's what I'm gonna do. After I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna go find a bug.
Go find a bug?
I mean, it's really small, tiny, so it shouldn't be a big deal, but I'm like... I just don't like a bug, so... Anyway, oh, my hair. Oh, my hair. Oh, my goodness. Oh, so sweaty. Oh, you know what? I have to go take a shower.
That was a long time ago. Yes, Steffi, I don't know if I can actually do that. I don't think I can give user permissions for the shoutout clips. I have to check that. Can you ping me, Steffi, on Discord? Yuka, of course. You're welcome for the shoutout. How was your stream? I saw you were doing some Earth Day related stuff.
Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
I'm not changing it on stream.
We'll do it live.
Thank you, Steffi. I'm not changing anything on stream today, Exegete. Not like last time. I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah, so it's Earth Day today, chat. I don't know if you knew it's Earth Day. I saw you were doing some data analysis of Earth Day. Did you actually did you get to any insights or anything about Earth Day? That would be super cool to know. But if you have to go, like, it's very, very, very early for you. What time is it in Japan? Wait a second. It's like, must be like 7 a.m. for you or something. Wait a second. Wait. Oh my gosh. Wait, you stream like... What? So you started streaming at like 4 a.m. or something? Holy moly. Ah, historic CO2 level, temperature anomaly, land and ocean anomalies, and running some regressions. Oh my gosh. Wow. Super cool. That's awesome. Oh, West Coast USA. Oh, I was thinking you were based in Japan. Oh, okay. Okay. You're streaming from the West Coast. All good. Okay, then I'm not as concerned. I was like, wow, like 4 a.m. streaming. I could not bring myself to do that. I love all of you here, really. I love all of you very deeply, but I could not get up at 4 a.m. to stream to all of you. I'm very sorry. West Coast, Best Coast. You're originally from Tokyo. That's really great. Yeah, I think I told you I used to live in Yokohama for almost 4 years. So yeah, I have Japan. Japan is still a really big part of me. So maybe we should just flip over for a second. Yeah, no one's getting up at 4 a.m. to stream. I don't think. Not in science and tech or tech in general, code streams. So for all of you coming in, is this what you want? Exegete? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll introduce myself. Okay. Apparently I have some vision trouble at the moment. Excuse me for that. I may not be able to read chat very well for a while. My name is Maddie, or Maddie Two Shoes, and I am a data person. I have my own startup as well. That I've been full-time in my startup since the beginning of the year. I'm based in Switzerland, so it's currently just before midnight for me. And I stream Monday, Fridays, and yeah, Friday now I'm starting like a new format, this data cafe, where we talk about news around the data and analytics world, or we look at some interesting articles that have some like stats in them. I try to make it as accessible as possible. I sort of look at my stream as being edutainment, so it should be educational but also funny. I think Yuka, your stream is very similar for me. Like it should be a learning and positive environment, but at the same time it should also be fun. And I think there's quite a few people on Twitch trying to do that. So yeah. Thank you, Steffi. I think it was Steffi. It was probably Steffi, right? Yeah, it's definitely Steffi. So yeah. I don't plan on going outside because it's midnight. I'll probably be going to bed if anything. So yeah, I'm normally working on a larger project for Twitch streamers. It's called Just in Numbers. It's a real-time analytics tool for streamers. I'm hoping to release a first version very soon. So you can sign up to the waitlist on my website in chat, justinnumbers.com, and then you'll get access. You'll get an email with some kind of access to a first version of some kind. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet, but yeah, I normally work on that quite a bit on stream. And so yeah, every second Friday probably we'll be doing a sort of data cafe format. So far it's been very well received today. So yeah, and if you have questions at all, like always just ask in chat. I try to respond to everyone in chat, and
yeah. Oh no, no! Why? What? Who was it this time? Who was it? I need to look. Exegete. Yes, of course. Exegete. Why did you have to, like, there's so many new people here and they don't know anything about this stuff, and now what you've told them is that you can break things here. That's what you've told them.
Perfect.
That's what you've told them, is that you can break things on my stream. That's what you've told them. I hope you're happy with yourselves, chat. I'll take my glasses off so that I can see all of you properly. How about that? So yeah, that's what we're doing. And today we've been covering a few different topics. We talked about Netflix losing 0.09% of its subscriber base, but losing 35% in its stock price, which is, you know, a bit weird for me, even with the other information. We went through a couple of articles about things, and I was currently discussing how Google has announced that they are deprecating Universal Analytics. So if your site uses Google Analytics today, you are most likely on Universal Analytics. As of July 1st next year, Google will not process data anymore for this. At least that's half the fun. I'm very happy with my choices. I'm glad you're happy with your choices, Exegete. I'm glad. At least he didn't tell them they're also able to play words on stream. No, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that here. No, we don't talk about. Yuka. No. What? Yuka. What? Yuka, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, really. That's very kind. So we have a little thing going here. We have a little thing going here, Yuka. If you subscribe or get gifted a sub to my channel, you get to put your name on the mask of subscription for the month. So for the month of April, you can choose what color and where you would like your name to be written. The colors are very diverse, so you can choose pretty much any color you'd like. They're all here. Hold on, I'll show you. There's a zoom. There's a lot of different colors to choose from. Purple, wonderful. Purple it is. Thank you very much, Rugmat, for that bit. Rugmat, I was saying, by the way, congratulations on reaching 1,000 bits in my channel. Probably in 1-bit increments, to be honest. You know that I have the custom badges, right? So you can actually choose a custom badge for the 1K bit badge, rather than the standard one, if you prefer. Yes, and you can choose where your name goes, Yuka, as well. So there is space pretty much everywhere almost. There's still quite a lot of space. I mean, you can also choose how your name gets written, you know, like underneath the eye or across the nose, somewhere on the cheek. Okay. A peekaboo, Steffi. Should we combine them? Should we combine them? Okay. Hold on. We gotta combine them. Okay. Here we go. Apparently, someone wants to play peekaboo. Does someone want to do the lights, or should I do it? Does someone want to do the lights? I think you know what color they should be, right? I hope it works. I hope there's not too much lag with the camera.
Thank you very much, Steffi. Yes, red indeed, friends. Okay, I will put your name on the mask, Yuka. Yuka with data. Yuka with data. I will have your name on the mask on my cheek. Okay, so we do Yuka. Yuka with data. Ooh, it's quite long. It's very long. It's very, very long. Your name is on my cheek now, Yuka. I should probably switch scenes for this. Your name is on the cheek. Yuka with data. There you go. There it is. So congratulations, Yuka. Thank you very much for the subscription. It's very, very, very kind of you, really. Very appreciated. shouldn't the light also flash? Maybe. I don't know. It's quite difficult to do. It's technically possible, but I think my MacBook is probably already sweating. Yeah, it's sweating pretty bad at the moment. So yeah, I think adding more stuff to the stream is probably not the plan at the moment, to be honest. Definitely not. But thank you to all of you for supporting. Maybe, Darkmat, do I not have the bit badge? Or is it just an emote? I was wondering. If it's difficult, then you don't have the right software for the lights. The software I use for the lights is not great. I'll be honest about that. I'm not very happy with it. It's quite laggy at times. So I would actually need to create a bit badge. Interesting. Yeah, Noob, it sounds like you're volunteering to, write more software. Also, Noob, welcome in. It's very nice to see you. For those of you who don't know, Noob is also a streamer from our team. And, streams a lot of dev and,
particularly around one software. Noob is the author of one of the software that I use on my stream. Noob, let's check out a clip from you.
Drop.
Ah, classic. Classic Noob clip. Classic. All right, Yuka, you can lurk away. Very, very nice. Yes, what a great clip, Noob. What a great clip. Welcome in, Boss Fighter. It's Maddie. Yes, it is. Hello to you. Welcome back. Good to see you here for today's stream. So we're doing a little bit of a different stream today. We're doing a little bit of a data cafe where we talk about different topics. This is Memebox. That's the software I use for my stream, for these different, a lot of the different memes and videos that you see play on stream are done with Memebox. So Noob wrote that and works on it on stream. So it's definitely worth checking out. And so yeah, today we're just covering a few different topics. Yuka subscribed, which blew my mind. So I had to put Yuka's name on the mask of subscription. And now we are going to the last topic planned for today, which is a doozy. Because guess what, chat? I have a small announcement to make. I have been asked, and I obliged already, to be the first guest on a new podcast, which is why this article is so topical. If you use the podcast command, you will get the link to the podcast that is going to drop in 8 days, so beginning of May. It is a new podcast by a friend of mine, Juliana Jackson. Not the Joe Rogan podcast, no. Juliana is from the data community, and the podcast is called Standard Deviation. And it's all around how we think in analytics, like mental models, and our chat was about things like education in analytics. It was about averages. It was it was a very interesting podcast. We recorded it already, so no, Boss Fighter, the podcast is not on Twitch. We already recorded it, but you can listen to it on all of these different platforms. So the link is in chat there. All of these different platforms, you'll be able to listen to it, and on YouTube you can also watch the video of our call when it comes out. So yeah, you can just look for Standard Deviation on YouTube and you'll find it. If you want to watch the video version, or if you just prefer the audio, then you can listen to it on all of those different podcast sites. I'm quite excited for it to come out because podcasts are a new format for me. I never recorded a podcast before. but I think it could be interesting to record a sort of more, like a more scripted format, let's say. I mean, the discussion was very loose and very spontaneous for the most part. Like there was a rough outline of questions that we would probably go through, but she definitely surprised me with a few as well. So I think it will be interesting to listen to. If you're interested in that content, then did you wear the mask of subtlety on the podcast? No, I actually dressed like a normal person for the podcast, surprisingly. Yeah, I actually didn't know we were going to record the video, so I probably didn't look my best. I thought we were going to only record audio. But anyway, so talking about podcasts, I read in Morning Brew, which is one of the 2 publications that I think are really, really cool. Morning Brew and The Hustle. They're 2 daily news type emails that you can get in your inbox. I can highly recommend both of them. I actually have a referral code for The Hustle, but yeah, if you're really interested in reading it, just let me know and I can send you my referral code, because then I get cool swag from them. And this came up in my feed. Basically, Spotify, which many of you probably recognize as a name in the industry, right? Spotify is not only a music platform, but also a podcast platform. They have bought 2 major podcast analytics companies this year. And there's music on Spotify? I mean, I wouldn't know. We can't listen to any of them on stream, right? I mean, the DMCA free stuff, yes, of course. But yes, so Spotify bought 2 major podcast companies earlier this year. Was it this one? That's the wrong link. That's the wrong... That's the wrong link, actually. Jake Devs, you're talking about the Chartable acquisition. That's where I work. Worlds collide. Yes, exactly. Podsites and Chartable. So Spotify bought Podsites and Chartable, and basically people in the industry have expressed a lot of concern around this. And I'll explain that in a second. But first I want to say welcome, Jake Devs. Welcome in. Did we speak in Zach's Discord when we were on the call with Slashy? Is that where we know each other from? Is that possible? I just wanted to ask, just to understand the person. But if you're not that person, that's totally fine as well. So why is this an issue? Why do you think, Chad, why do you think this is a problem? Well, the thing is, Spotify hosts podcasts, right? And so logically, if you host a podcast, then you can provide data about listens, about number of pauses, which device people use to listen, etc. Yeah, that's right. I've been watching your stream since then. Oh, great. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you. So Spotify is a major powerhouse, so they can also give you data about the podcasts, right? So that's the first thing, and that's fine for you as a consumer or as a publisher of the podcast. That's one thing. Like, getting the data from that service is totally fine. What's the problem is that if Spotify also sells ads on that service, and they also own the ad companies that report on those ads, it's a bit like what there's an expression for this that I'm searching for, chat. What is it called? Drinking your own pee kind of thing, you know? Like, basically, you're forced to accept the data that they give you because you have no alternative. And from an analytics perspective, that is really poor. You always want to have options. So this kind of goes into a sort of sphere of whose data belongs to whom kind of thing. Don't trust any charts you didn't fake. Exactly. I mean, the whole data quote that comes up in the meme all the time on my channel is ones and zeros never lie, of course, but like if you collected the ones and zeros, it's very different than someone else collecting the ones and zeros, because they took some decisions about how to collect that data differently from you. And I think that goes into a topic of thank you.
Ones and zeros never lie.
Exactly. They don't lie, but if you collected them differently,
Garbage.
if you collected them differently than the other person did, you can't compare them anymore. And of course, that might be, you know, if the information is coming from inside the house that runs the ads, you might be quite skeptical about it. So if you are skeptical about that data, about how your ads perform, then you can go to these third-party companies, but it just won't be Podsights or Chartable anymore because they're owned by Spotify. So you have to go to other third-party sites, and there just aren't that many other sites that you can go to get that data from about your podcasts, right? Because let's face it, like most of the listeners are going to the places where most of their services are. So if someone's already listening to music on Spotify, they would just probably listen to a podcast on Spotify. They probably might not listen to a podcast somewhere else on another platform. Same with something like Apple. Like if you already have an Apple account, you have an iPhone, you do everything with Apple's ecosystem, Apple Podcasts is going to be a logical step for you if you use, you know, iMusic or whatever it's called, if you use their music service, etc. So it is kind of a big deal. And from a data perspective, for me, it's a real problem that you can't independently verify things. You know, this isn't like, there isn't like a blockchain for analytics where you can say, this is how many listeners my podcast got, independently reported from 3 or 4 different sources, or some kind of transparency log or something like that. The companies that control the server, they control the data collection. So that's why companies now are moving to essentially either host their own podcast on their site so that they don't have to give up that data, but that severely restricts the number of listeners, and it severely restricts the way that you can monetize it ultimately. Because let's face it, you know, you can only monetize through ads in that kind of case, right? Sorry, I missed a bit on chat here. You can't monetize, like on your own site you can run ads, but you don't, there's just not that many, there's not that much traffic compared to something like Spotify. So Surly, you use Spotify for music and Podcast Republic for podcasts. Yeah, so that I'm saying it's not always the case, of course. And I don't have a podcast, no, Boss Fighter. I don't have my own podcast, but I mean, I was a guest on one, and I've been invited to another one actually as well, that we're probably going to record at some point as well. I'm not trying to give them ideas, Steffi, I'm just saying. New blockchain niche, yeah. Our charts are accurate, I promise. Yeah, sure, Jake. Accurate. Sorry, let me just do this properly. Very accurate. Definitely. Everything will be blockchained eventually. They are, but I totally get it. Probably the number one thing I've been hearing since acquisition. Yeah, that absolutely. That makes sense to me that people are talking about this. So Chartable tracks the top podcasts across platforms and publishes those charts. Malik said that Chartable will continue to do so as long as data partners like Apple give it access to their information. It's possible that could change. And this is the biggest problem now. Again, it comes back to capitalism and corporate greed and all that stuff. You know, if companies don't give Chartable that data anymore, like Apple, because it belongs to Spotify, which is now a direct competitor. Chartable before wasn't a direct competitor because they're a third party and not as much of a threat, right? But if they stop giving that data, then what happens, right? There's no, basically, everything is being tracked differently by different platforms. You can't compare them. The advertisers have no leverage, right? Because they have, you know, they can't do anything. But yeah, that's really difficult. Jake Devs. Oh, sorry, Boss Fighter. I wonder how Amazon, Google, and Facebook will migrate to blockchain, or will they only be replaced like AOL, Yahoo, and MySpace? I do not know how to answer this question. And Panther says, I've got mail. Okay. Is that so? I can definitely check my email. If it's important, I can definitely take a look. Is that so? Oh, okay, not me. It was a reference to AOL. Oh! You've got mail. That alert. Ah, yes, okay. That's actually a great alert. Can we get that for our stream? Can we get that for our stream?
You've got mail. You've got mail. You've got mail.
That's actually pretty cool. I think we should get him. I think we should get it for our stream. When I get an email or something. It's like such a meme. Such a meme. I'm keeping that for later. Oh, that's twice in one stream. I think it's a sign. And yes, we definitely have senior devs here. Definitely. Boss Fighter. I'm very senior. You subscribed to MySpace. It was replaced a week after by Facebook. I don't know, like, it was kind of a weird phenomenon. Like, Tom, you know, Tom from MySpace was your friend by default. Like, would you really say that guy is your friend? It's a bit weird, you know? It's just a bit strange. The week after Spotify, so this is what's interesting for me, right? The week after Spotify announced the acquisitions, Mike Caden, which was CEO of a podcast platform called Red Circle, they had folks reach out to us from major publishers and ask if we have attribution technology. And basically what you're seeing is that you're seeing all of this centralization of the ecosystem again, right? Apple can't really stop us if the podcasters want us to track them. They can install a free prefix on their RSS feeds, and then we proxy downloads and we can track that way. Ah, interesting. Okay, that's cool. So before the podcast gets loaded, you load your service as a proxy in between, and then you give the request on to Apple. But you won't know, you won't be able to, so you'll just track listens, but you won't be able to track like whether they listen to the whole podcast and what was the pause versus play rates or any kind of like super detailed stuff, right, Jake? Like that's obviously only possible. Is it something that's only with the initial request, or is it something that's with every single request that's sent? So that's, yeah, it's an interesting topic. What was the name of the podcast you have been on? It's called Standard Deviation. Thank you, Steffi. You were faster than me. Doing the good work. Doing the good work, Steffi. There's even a mod love there's a mod love emote now. But it's ironic because I don't have any emotes. I don't have any mods in my channel. I just never need mods. Yeah, that's right. So we can estimate how long they listen. But how do you estimate if it's only the initial request? We should totally talk about this, Jake. I'm really curious about that. If you're able to talk about it, of course. I guess you have to be able to say how it works, right? We've always heard great things about their offering, but the reality is that now that they're owned by a publisher, we've actually had multiple partners reach out asking what our plans are for attribution, simply because they're looking for alternatives. RSS feed is opening an XML file. Based on amount of data consumed, but it's an estimate. A download is basically considered a listen. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot further you could go with this. Thank you, Surly. Appreciate that. Juliana is going to be super happy about that. Yeah, Jake, the only reason why it might be interesting to chat is because, you know, with Juliana starting the podcast, she's going to be bringing out those episodes, I think, weekly or something. She might want to speak to you about that, more about the data side, because she is from the data world, like more from marketing analytics world, so she might want to talk to you. So I thought might be cool to get into that. It would be kind of meta to have a podcast about measuring podcasts. Thinking about it, it would be kind of a fun thing to talk about. So yeah. Jay Walter, welcome in, friend. Your timing is very interesting. Standard deviation will start in May. Yes, so the first episode is with me. I think is it this video? I think it's this one. Ah, no, it's not that one. 1 second, chat. Yeah, here you go. Okay, I got it. So this is the podcast. And so yeah, there's a trailer and everything. So Juliana, she works for CXL, which is an education site around analytics, basically sort of like helping people to build up their knowledge in the analytics space. Thanks, Jake, appreciate that. I had a couple of episodes of Better Call Saul to catch up on. All right, Jay Walter, no problem. No spoilers, I'm waiting till it's all out. No worries. And yeah, so she's gonna be, I think they're gonna be released within a weekly cadence. I know she's already recorded 2 or 3. Mine will be the first episode, and I think it comes out May 1st or May 2nd, something like that. So yeah, no spoilers, because Panther doesn't want to know what it's about. So I look forward to that coming out, and I think I'll probably be doing more podcasts in the future. I mean, I've been asked to be on another one. I don't know when that will happen. But I do like having those discussions, and I think recording them makes sense, so that other people can have a listen if they want to. No, she's not a developer. She's more she comes more from the marketing analytics side. But she's actually, at the moment, she's at CXL. She's responsible for product development or product analytics, I would say. Not too familiar on how she's set up in her role at the moment. All I know is that we met because we did a presentation at the same place, and her presentation was after mine, and after I got off stage, she told me, I don't know how I'm supposed to follow your presentation. And I said, I mean, I said, it's fine. Like, there's no problem, you know? That's gonna be tough, but I'll do my best. Oh, you meant about... Better Call Saul. Okay. Panther, I thought you meant spoilers about the podcast. That's 3 times. That's 3 today, and I think that's the right time to wrap up, chat. I feel like that's a good time. I feel like that's a good time to wrap things up. I feel like. What do you think, chat? I think that's a good time to call it an evening. Did someone change the background to data? Is that what came up for data? Very interesting. Okay. Yes, I thought you meant my podcast that I was asked to be on. Hell as a background, lovely. Absolutely lovely. So listen, chat, it's been lovely. That is code, sir. Not data. I'm not even in the data category today. I'm just streaming. I'm just chatting, whatever you call it. Ooh, Jay Walter. You could stream again. That would be fun. That would be cool. I think we would all like that. Yes, boss fighter, it is the end. I mean, it's quarter past midnight here. Yeah, Jay Walter, should we wait? Because you could go on now. We can just raid you. No problem. In the meantime, thank you, Yuka and Ophelia and White Panther for subscribing, resubscribing in that case. Thank you, Yost, for the gifted sub to Dryson. I appreciate that. Thank you, Indufara-esque and Green Wind for your follows. I'm not prepared. I can't stream now. For a 15-minute stream, you spend more time preparing the stream than you spend on the stream, Jay Walter. Like, how are you not prepared, you know? Like, how can you not be prepared? Speaking of burn, check out this background. I mean, that is a burn, if anything. Thank you to Rugmat, White Panther, Splashly, Ian for all of those beautiful biddies in chat. Always appreciated. I already know who we're gonna raid otherwise. If Jay Walter doesn't stream, that's fine. We're gonna go visit Soy Pete. Soy Pete, if you do not know Soy Pete, she's currently doing a Golang course. So about how to learn Go. I don't know how to write Go. I only know the board game Go. So if you want to know more about Go and how to learn it, then I highly encourage you to go over there and join the raid. And I will see all of you on Monday. And I wish you all a lovely weekend. Hope you enjoyed today's stream, the different format, and don't forget to use the raid emote if you have access to it as a sub, which most of you do. So see you all on Monday. Bye!